Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Democracy 3. My name, of course, is Orbital Potato, and today, this is the finale in the series that has been hugely successful. Hugely successful. Well, maybe not so successful, but I think, we're in a pretty good place in the game, apart from the fact that we've got a honkin' deficit. It is absolutely massive, if I do say so myself. That is how I define success. How we do in the game, not how many views it gets or whatever. Nah, that's a completely arbitrary measurement of success. But this is going to be the very last episode in an Independent Scotland series. But have no fear, Democracy will be returning in the normal slot that it is usually in. And we shall be returning, and we shall be playing as the USA, and we will be trying to go for a socialist USA, right? So this is a pure socialist USA, and it's going to be difficult, right? It is absolutely going to be challenging, but I'm up for the challenge. Obviously, this sort of series is, it's very socialist. There's no denying that. We've got a large percentage of the population that is actually socialist. If we can get it to 100% today, that would be a fantastic way to round out the series. I'm not gonna lie, it would be fantastic. But at the same time, also, intelligence briefing, none. Nobody hates us. That's great. Yeah, but at the same time, America is very, very difficult to turn into a socialist country. There is a lot of opposition. It is very, very stowed out in debt as soon as you get into the game. So it's going to be a different little... it's going to be a different kettle of fish, so to speak, if you excuse my idiom, I think is what you call that. But yeah, we're going to give it a go anyway. Anyway, let's stop talking about that. Let's get down to business with Scotland. So, what on earth? Cyclones? Yeah. Cyclones are never going to disappear, are they? Let's face it. They're just literally never going to disappear. Which is a real shame. But, hey-ho, whatever. So, we're kind of running like a massive budget deficit at the moment, which I'm not super thrilled about, I'll be completely honest with you. That whole dive right there, our GDP just like jumping off a ledge or whatever. Really not sold on that. So, you know what? Because our GDP does recover, and we know it recovers, I'm going to take the hit, right? I'm going to say, hey, we'll pay the deficit of 43 billion or whatever, but next time we won't. Next turn, we will adjust our flat rate of income tax, which is this one, which is how we're moving this up and down to compensate for the sort of economic demand. That was their plan anyway. Next turn, we're going to change that around a little bit. We're going to increase taxes so that we're not actually losing a shit ton of money, because if there's something that I don't want to end this series on, right, I do not want to be going back into debt. That is just a no. It's like the cat, It's like the cat on, was it like, roll? You know that one? Yeah, we're not going back into debt. No, thank you. Anyway, apparently, like 100% of our population are environmentalists. Okay, that's cool. I mean, nobody's really a fan of me that much. But at the same time, I'm a pretty good guy, haven't I? Yeah, I'm a pretty good guy. Yeah, I'm a pretty awesome dude, actually. I thought so. Anyway, let us ban animal testing. I feel that environmentalists would probably like that. So why don't we go ahead and do it? Let's do it. And let's go to the next turn. Quickly, let us just check. 98.65% of our population is currently socialist. Let's flip on over to the next turn. GDP, once again, it did rise, as I predicted. But that still means we're going to incur a massive hole in our budget worth 28 billion. So not super keen about that fact, and it looks like our GDP is going to rise next turn, which is encouraging, but at the same time, we're going to need to make sure that we actually, raise our taxes this turn, because I'd be damned. In fact, you know what? No, we can keep our taxes the same this turn. If you look at our deficit, 28 billion, we're going to lose 28 billion from this. That's fine. We still got 6 billion in the bank. Next turn, we can raise our taxes. So we are being very, very generous. We're giving our population the maximum length of time without the appropriate taxes. But anyway, let's check population or percentage that are socialist. So it's actually gone up by 0.4%, as we can see here. It used to be 98.65. Now it has gone up to 99.05, which is that actually means it's gone up by 0.4. 0.4, yeah, exactly. So I was right. So 0.4%. No. It's... Yes. Yes, it's gone up by almost half a percentage point. That's what I'm trying to say. Cool. I'm with it. I'm with it. Interesting to note, socialists' income has remained constant. What about capitalists' income? That's remained constant as well. Well, I don't really think you can define capitalists by their income. I think it's more that socialists and capitalists are political ideologists, right? You can define wealthy people by their income to a certain degree, but you can certainly define poor people by their income, and to an extent, middle-income people as well, who have a varying degree of income, but not an overly large amount. So I would imagine, for example, a group like ethnic minorities, their income wouldn't vary either. Yeah, I can sort of understand that. What about everybody's income? Everybody's income has stayed the same. Okay, I guess there is no income for everybody. What about youth income? Nope, no income for youth income. That is such a stereotypical youth, isn't it? Like, holy cow, that is quite a stereotypical youth. Cynicism. Wow, okay, that's cool. Highly trusting. Current opinion of government, slightly supportive. Thank you, I appreciate that. That is very, very nice of you. Very, very nice indeed. Yeah, let's go to the next turn. There's no point in dilly-dallying. Let's sign the nuclear test ban treaty, because we've got an entire population of environmentalists, I guess. I mean, why the hell not? Why the hell not, I guess? Why the hell not? Okay, flooding. I'm not super liking flooding, I'm not gonna lie. I'm really not a huge fan of flooding myself. But our GDP did increase a little bit, which means we can reduce taxes by less, or we can increase taxes by less, should I say. So that works out as a net positive for our population. The polls are optimistic. If an election was held tomorrow, we suspect you would get 100% of the vote. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's fantastic news. That is really very, very good. So we're down to 7 billion in reserves. This is time to crank up our tax rate. We need to crank it up by roughly 24 billion. So we need to go from 45 all the way up to 69. 69. Hey, 69 billion. There we go. Let's apply those changes. It's going to make people a little bit more annoyed with us, but hey-ho. How many socialists do we have? Okay, so it's increased by a smaller percentage this time. It's gone from 99.05 to 99.30, which means that has gone up by a quarter of a percentage point. So it looks like it's exponentially slowing, which is annoying, because I really want to get the socialist utopia achievement by the end of this episode. And I think, you know what, I think there is a good chance that we will manage to do that. Okay, we're running a budget surplus, so I presume that means that our GDP grew. It did grow, that's fine, but it's going to sink down next turn. So we're actually going to... Yeah, we're actually losing money at the moment. So we're actually going to raise our flat income tax again. We're going to raise it by probably around... We're going to stick it up to about 100 billion. Which is actually quite a lot given the circumstances. But I'm really determined to just eradicate debt, like, at the smallest opportunity, at the earliest opportunity we possibly can. Now, we're getting hit by floods. Once again, we've got Endra to try and take care of the floods. That was a DLC shenanigans. Holy shit, we've got 3 reoccurring flooding events. Wow. So that is still disappearing. That is crazy. It looks like a wave. How crazy is that? That looks like a wave and it's a flood. Just me? Just me, apparently. Yeah, so our GDP is going to tank a little bit because of the flooding damage. 17%, that's actually a significant percentage. But alas, the reality of the situation, I guess. But I can't believe that we've actually got 3 ongoing flooding events. It's quite impressive, you know? That means that this is going to be the highest flood of all time. If you look across this way. Yeah, this is going to be the most intense flood because we've got the added effects of the 2 previous floods. That's kind of cool, actually. That's kind of interesting. I like that a lot. I think that's quite fun. But anyway, yeah. How many socialists do we have? That's the real question. Oh, okay. So it's gone up by a fifth. It's gone up by a fifth of a percentage point, which means that we are drawing ever closer to a full socialist utopia, which is one of the achievements actually. Enhanced interrogation techniques. You know what? Let's not use these techniques. We're a fairly liberal population, so I think that it's probably safe to say we don't want to do this. Also, we are sort of role-playing as the current Scottish government, so that's what we're doing anyway. But, you know, it just so happens that all of these decisions have been ones that I view, at least, as likely as being taken by the Scottish government in the way that I have taken them. Software patents, I don't really know, actually. I don't actually know. The SNP is very, very strange when it comes to being pro-business or pro-employee? Yeah, that's right, pro-employee. So I'm really not entirely sure what the SNP's stance on patents are. So the SNP, for anybody that cares, is the Scottish National Party, and they're the sort of party that we've been role-playing in this Democracy 3 playthrough. They are the party that wants Scotland to become an independent country. And, you know, we've been trying to replicate their decisions as accurately as possible, at least in my mind, how they would play out. I may not get everything correct, but it's roleplay, so calm down. Calm down. Calm down. It's only politics. It's not that much of an issue. Anyway, I think we're probably going to reject software patents, I guess. Reject, I guess. I think that's probably the wisest decision. Well, we've done it now anyway, so who cares? The budget's in good shape. We currently have a surplus of 17 billion. Great, so that means we should be out of debt next turn. That's cool. I can just about deal with that. You know, I'm not super keen on, you know, debt repayments and whatnot, but it's going to be such a small percentile of debt repayments that we're having to pay at the moment that's really not going to make that much of a darn difference in the slightest, but whatever. It's just something to bear in mind. We really don't want to get into debt. Socialists, this is the important thing. Oh, okay, so it's gone up from 0.5 to up to 99.75. Okay, so it is increasing slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. Compulsory work for the unemployed. Wow, socialists really don't like this. But it does boost our GDP. Does boost our GDP. It really does. It really absolutely does. Anyway, let's go to the next turn because I am purely excited about seeing if we can get our economy to be purely socialist. Okay, so people literally just don't like me by 22% more. Honestly, I'm like a god. I am like an absolute god that walks among the people. Oh, 99.90%. How close are we? We're very, very darn close. Very, very excited about that. Oh man, we're so very close to hitting it. I think this turn could be the turn for us. Let's see. Oh, it's an election as well. Oh my goodness. How exciting indeed. 0 votes for the opposition? 0 votes? Oh, they got 2,500 at the end. Oh, what a shame. What a darn shame that they actually managed to get some votes together. Jeez Louise. GDP falling down, unfortunately. I was hoping that we would get 100% of the voters to vote for us, but unfortunately, sad reality of the situation is that did not quite happen. And wow, indeed it is correct. 100% of our population is now socialist. How crazy is that? Now, what does the achievement actually say? Socialist paradise. You have remade this country in the very image of a socialist paradise. Perhaps this socialist paradise achievement is conditional not on getting everybody to become socialists. More, it's about making the country a more socialist sort of country. So eradicating private healthcare, eradicating public schooling and private schooling, and eradicating private pensions and stuff like that. Maybe that's what the achievement's about. But if we don't get it this turn, well, I am declaring that we're a socialist utopia anyway, because who gives a damn? Let's build the power lines anyway. Who gives a hoot? Who gives a hoot? That's not a decision that should really sway any of these groups, apart from the environmentalists. So you know what's crazy, right? Is effectively everybody in the country is an environmentalist. Literally everybody, and literally everybody is also a socialist. So we've got an entire country filled with socialist environmentalists. Wow, how crazy is that? Oh, and apparently everybody's an ethnic minority as well. Okay. So you're telling me, right, that literally everybody is an ethnic minority, environmentalist, socialist. Well, let me first tell you that does not make sense, because if everybody is an ethnic minority, then surely nobody's an ethnic minority. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Oh well. Who cares? The rest of the figures are fairly accurate, or could be conceivably accurate. That's what I mean. Religious people, there's 2%. You know, I can understand that. Over time. I think religious membership is probably going to trend downwards, but that's just the reality of the situation, isn't it? Self-employed people, what's that look like? Around 12%. That's cool. I can deal with that. Around 20%, 25% people are poor. Around 50% of the people are middle income, and around the other 25% are wealthy. That's cool. I can understand those figures, right? What I can't understand is the fact that how everybody's an ethnic minority, environmentalist, socialist doesn't quite make sense in my head. Although maybe that is perhaps just me. Anyway, let's go to the next turn. It doesn't look like we're going to get the Socialist Utopia achievement, which is a real shame. But you know what? That is why we're going to attempt Democracy 3 as the United States. That is going to be socialist. So very exciting in that regard. I think we're going to wrap this series up, ladies and gentlemen. If you've enjoyed it, give it a like, because people have stuck by it, and we're on the 12th or 13th episode? No, 18th episode. It must be like the 18th episode by now. I can't remember. I really cannot remember, but I've thoroughly enjoyed playing as my native country. It has been very enjoyable to play as Scotland and sort of role play an independent Scotland. I think it's been really good fun. And I'm really looking forward to reattempting the United States, which I did do like a long time ago. But I'm looking forward to reattempting with a lot more enthusiasm and probably a bumped up higher difficulty, I would imagine. So it's going to be challenging. We're going to die a couple of times, but you got to have faith in me. You got to have faith in me, because we're going to achieve it. And together, we can achieve great things. That's right. #motivational. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching Democracy 3 as an independent Scotland. This is the final episode in that said series. My name, of course, has been Potato, and I will see you next time. Bye.